Well, obviously the strangest pedal I've ever played. This is the Data Corruptor by EarthQuaker Devices. It's basically a 3-note harmonizer based on a phase lock loop, a PLL. And you have 3 sections, each with their own volume. The first is a square wave, which is basically a fuzz box on full. And so you get all that spittiness when you're fading out. And then you have subharmonic. And this allows you to do an interval against that interval. So you can do everything from like unison an octave down, all the way to 3 octaves down as a major second, or 3 octaves down as a unison. And that's getting pretty low. We're down to here. And you can have that interval either based off the square wave pitch, or you can have it based off what they're calling the master oscillator, which also has its own offsets. And so we'll do that one now. This is the master oscillator, which likes to go all by itself. And you have a glide, and so you can change how fast it's gliding from your original pitch to the new pitch. Here it is set at unison. And if you're into synthesis, it's kind of a lot like hard sync, an oscillator sync, where you're having a slave oscillator and a master oscillator, and as you change the frequency of the slave oscillator, you're hearing the harmonics reflect that. So it's very amplitude sensitive, and so as you can hear, I can change picking and what the harmonics are doing. And then this glide switch, which you've been hearing, that's what's doing that harmonic sweeps up and down. If I change that to vibrato, now all of a sudden I've got an LFO to pitch, which goes pretty fast and goes into ray gun territory. And that is also amplitude sensitive, so you can hear the rate and depth of that changing as the guitar is fading in and out. So now we'll do all 3 notes. So I'll start with my square. And then get, let's see, I'll set it to a 5th. And then add the 3rd oscillator, the master oscillator. And you'll notice that we have a ton of gain, which is giving you a lot of sustain. So this can be very synth-like. In fact, I'll throw on one of my favorite delays, the Flashback, in a ping pong, and you can hear just how synthy you can get this. And, you know, it's not for making pretty music. It is for making something different. And, man, it really does that. And there's some other interesting things in it. One of them is that you have a root switch on your master oscillator. And what that's doing is allowing you to play the guitar in the area where it tracks the best. But then if you wanted it lower, you can lower it by 1 or 2 octaves here. So I'll do that. So now I'm playing way up high, but I've got low notes. So now I'm going to show it to you with keyboard, just to kind of show you what it sounds like with a more stable input. Obviously on the keys I can keep the amplitude fairly steady, so let me hook that up. Okay, so now I have one of my favorite desktop keyboards, the Yamaha Reface CS. I use this thing all the time because, one, it fits right under my computer, has lots of synth control, it's polyphonic, it can be battery powered, it's just super convenient. I use it as my MIDI controller a lot as well on my desk. And what I want to do now is just connect it to this and show you with a little bit more stability what's going on. As a reference, this is what I'm starting with. Again, very seriously underusing the synth right now. But this is what comes out. And as I almost always do with my synths, I throw a flashback and ping pong on it just to give it a little flavor on the outside, and this is what you get. Just as a reminder, this is what it sounds like without it. So it's crazy for everything, and my cameraman suggested, why don't I try it with a microphone? So what the heck, let's try that. Okay, so now I have a dynamic microphone connected to this, and we'll start with just the square wave in unison. Hey, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, I'm on the microphone. Hey! And then add the subharmonic. And now we'll add the master oscillator with some glide. So, obviously a crazy pedal. If you have any further questions about the Data Corrupter by EarthQuaker Devices or any other product, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. My name is Daniel Fisher. Thank you very much for putting up with me. Bye.